Hi there, and welcome to this episode of Consciousness Empowerment. Here we talk about consciousness, the laws of the universe, and how to reach your fucking dreams. Welcome. Those of you who are new, welcome. So today we're going to talk about the imagination. So we're still on the chapter on the soul, which is chapter 15, XV, the soul. The first part, I'm gonna go a little bit over the first part right now, just so we recall that we talked about the intuition. Okay, the intuition. Okay, the inner states of consciousness of the soul, essentially, because the soul impacts the body, okay, which is the element that's higher than the body, okay. So the soul uses the will, the intuition, and the imagination. So let's get started. Before we start, I want you to ask yourself two questions. Am I ready to learn and apply what I learned? If not, do not watch this. Okay. Number two, are you ready to follow your heart? Okay. Am I ready to follow my heart and follow those dreams that I have, those desires, those dreams, those goals and aspirations that I have for myself in life? If you are not ready, if you didn't say yes, you said no, I'm not ready to listen to my heart and follow my dreams, then do not watch this, okay? But if you said yes, I'm ready to live my dream life and follow my desires, then keep on watching this, okay? We're gonna be done by tomorrow. We'll be done with this book, okay? Because there's only one more chapter left, which is the spirit. Okay, the spirit he talks about is the universal mind. Okay, so that's more encapsulating, not really encapsulating, but because encapsulating means limiting, where we're holding something in it. But the spirit is more of the universal mind, the universal intelligence. So he's explaining how that operates. That's a better way to say it. Now, I don't want you to get confused now that we're starting. If not, make sure to get the fuck out. If you didn't say yes to learning, being open-minded and applying and being your highest self, okay? Do not get confused about the term the soul. Okay, the soul is essentially the non-physical you, the pure being you. And the pure being you has consciousness, okay? Has the will, has imagination, has intuition. Because that's where you're getting the feelings, the directions, the hunches that are not physical. We can't grab that shit. We can't grab it. We can't grab it. Like the subconscious mind, which you have one, and it helps you create your individual life. Can't grab it. This is a short read, but it was difficult, man. I had to call upon the universe. Do this as well when you cannot understand what's going on with what you're reading. You're reading it, but you don't understand it. Say, Father or God, universe, help me understand this so I can use this for my benefit, and help me understand the way that the author tried to say it. Because the author may have said something, but it may be giving you a different message. The universe might be giving you a different message. Like when I first read Pure Being, I understood it as like having or like a moral compass, like being good. Yes, Thomas Troward did talk about being good, not wanting any detriment towards any life forms, okay? Because the universe wants all life to grow. So that's what I understood it as, being pure being, like, oh, you got to be pure. But it wasn't that. Pure being means you're just pure being. You're not in the relative. You're not in time and space, you're in the non-physical. So go to the pure being state, which is just consciousness, and that's where you can use the will and hold your imagination onto what it is that you want to manifest, externalize in time and space, because you're just demonstrating what you've been holding in your mind. So everything that you're saying is going to manifest into your life. Everything that you're affirming is going to manifest into your life. Just remember that everything that already is manifested, you were affirming that for a long time. A lot of times we have things manifested because we were raised with these beliefs, right? Some of these are good. For example, always be safe. Look left and right when you cross the street. That's a good one. A lot of these beliefs were for our safety, which are good. Like, don't stand in front of a train. Don't put your hand in fire. Things like that. You know what I'm saying? So these things are good, but some of them are not. Like these sayings that in this economy, et cetera, et cetera. That's the money limitation, right? In this economy, I can't have shit. Bullshit. In this recession, bullshit. Somebody's getting rich during that time. So you just got to be open to those ideas. Understand that. Logically, if you look at that, you'll see that, there is no such thing as that. People are getting rich in a recession. People are getting rich in a quote-unquote bad economy. Don't watch the news. You look at the news, that's the vibration of the world. I can't even watch it. I don't even vibrate at that level. It's disgusting. Okay? So we focus on our imagination. We focus on the laws, which is abundance. When you're in spirit, you are pure being, you have unlimited resources. You can think about what you want and use your imagination. So this is what Thomas Troward is talking about in the faculty of the imagination. He says, whatever you are imagining, whatever belief that you're holding, is creating those brain grooves that we talked about. It's creating those brain grooves. And as such, your intuition will guide you in that direction. Okay? So the intuition and the imagination are linked. The thing that you're holding on to, the idea, the image, the intuition is going to help you with, okay? It's going to guide you towards that direction. But your will is what's holding that intuition in place, that imagination, and the direction of your intuition in place. And we said with intuition, we want it to be open, okay? We want it to be accessible. We want it to access unlimited resources. We want it to guide us to unlimited resources. For example, I love the specific person one. Why the fuck would you want a specific person if it's not the one made for you in heaven? What if this person is a sick person? Mentally, emotionally, and you're over here asking for that specific person just because you have a lust or you believe that there's love coming from that person. No, love comes from you. It's kind of like having I want to get a certain amount of money from this job. What if you can open a different type of business where the money is going to come from a different place if you allow intuition to open those avenues for you? But no, you're saying, I need this specific business. I need a specific person. I need to get in shape using this specific method. What if there's another method to get in shape, to lose weight or build muscle? But you're stuck on that specific, I can only listen to this person. You see where I'm getting at? You're constricting the energy flow of the universe versus allowing it to open it. Okay, that's intuition and imagination. So whatever you're imagining, you can allow yourself to see the possibilities. Like if you want money, you can see yourself with that thing that you want to buy. Not in the business, that working in the business, just see yourself with the things that you want. And say it is done. If you want a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, polygamy relationship, see yourself with that relationship. Imagine a few women or men with you, and it's gonna happen. Not this specific person, with their name, last name, date of birth, their sign, and all that shit. I'm not saying it's not gonna happen. It probably might happen. It might happen, but you're not gonna be happy. You're like, oh, it didn't work out, because you're not asking the divine mind to give you a harmonious relationship. You're asking for that specific relationship. You could ask for it. Genevieve, no. Florence Scovel says, she gives affirmations. I'm not going to say them right now because I don't want to say it wrong. But you can say an affirmation saying, I'm grateful I am in a loving relationship under grace in perfect ways. Meaning you have the relationship that's under grace, under the divine plan, and done perfectly. So there's no harm to others, okay, or yourself, and everything happens under grace in perfect ways. Because this clears the way. Sometimes we have these limiting thoughts that we don't even know that they're there. We don't even know that they're there. Or we do know they're there, but they just haven't been replaced by the new thought. You get what I'm saying? Like if you're looking at a certain situation, circumstance that you don't want, so you know that it's there, it's in there in your subconscious mind because you're externalizing it. But you keep affirming, you know it's going to come. Because everything you're looking at is from your past affirmations and visualizations. So just keep affirming, keep visualizing those good thoughts, and they will come. Okay? Now, I'm going to share a few quotes that he gives us to really grasp what he's talking about in the imagination. Okay? Regarding the imagination. Okay? Let's read. I feel like we're in this whole part right here, so I'm gonna read it and then we'll break it down what my intuition tells me to break it down, because I'm doing this to help you so that you can manifest your dream life. Okay. Quote, very closely allied to the intuition is the faculty of imagination. This does not mean mere fancies, which we dismiss without further consideration, but our power of forming mental images upon which we dwell. Okay, things that we're dwelling on, not things that we just like think about really quickly, right? Things that we dwell on. These, as I have said in the earlier part of this book, form a nucleus, which on its own plane calls into action the universal law of attraction, thus giving rise to the principle of growth. We spoke about how when we have a little nucleus of a sperm and an egg cell, you know, it attracts all the resources it needs and it grows. It develops in its own period, also known as the law of gender. He's calling it the law of growth. It's going to grow, and it also attracts, through the law of attraction, it attracts the resources it needs. That's on the physical plane, but that also happens in the spiritual plane. Because all things are formed from the mind, from thought. That's how all things were created. The relation of the intuition to the imagination is that the intuition grasps an idea from the universal mind in which all things subsist as potentials and presents it to the imagination in its essence rather than its definite form, and then our image building faculties gives it clear and definite form, which it presents before the mental vision, and which we then vivify by letting our thought dwell upon it, thus infusing our own personality into it, and so providing that personal element through which the specific action of the universal law relatively to that particular individual always takes place. So, explain that the intuition gives us an idea. Okay, we grasp an idea, we're feeling. Sometimes we just get a hunch. Then we start thinking through our imagination. Okay, then we can decide to hold that image to manifest it, right? That's where desire comes in. Desire, you get a hunch. Oh man, I want this. I want this type of girl. I want this type of car. I want this type of house. I want this type of money. Okay. Now I'm going to hold that vision. I'm going to hold that vision. And it's going to manifest in your particular circumstance, in your particular situation. Quote, whether our thoughts shall be allowed thus to dwell upon a particular mental image depends on our own will. And our exercise of our will depends on our belief in our power to use it so as to disperse or consolidate a given mental image. And finally, our belief in our power to do this depends on our recognition of our relation to God, who is the source of all power. Life is power. For it is an invariable truth that our life will take its whole form, tone, and color from our conception of God, whether that conception be positive or negative. And that sequence by which it is so is that now given. In this way, then, our intuition is related to our imagination. And this relation has its psychological correspondence in the circulus of molecular vibrations I have described above, which, having its commencement in the higher or ideal portion of the brain, flows through the voluntary nervous system, the physical channel or objective mind, returning through the sympathetic system, the physical channel of subjective mind, thus completing the circuit and being then restored to the frontal brain, where it is consciously modeled into a clear-cut form into the specific purpose. So he just explained the whole process of the spirit, okay, the soul, and the mind. Okay. Just slightly, because he talks about intuition. We get the images from the divine mind, the hunches. We get the hunches by the divine mind, subconscious mind. And through our intuition, we get the hunch. We have a feeling, right? Then it comes through our mind, because the intuition, we get hunches. He explained why in the chapters that, it comes through our top right here, our crown chakra, because that's where, that's the connecting point of the sympathetic and the sympathetic subconscious, like the automatic, and the conscious mind. And so the energy flows through that center point, goes through, hits our gut, which we get our gut feeling, comes back up and gives us an image. Then we can start rationalizing with the image, a clear-cut image in our mind. Okay? Like, again, you get a desire of a certain woman who's already married. You don't say, I want to marry this type of woman. Like, she's already married, bro. Like, what are you doing? And even if you claim her under grace and perfect ways, it's not going to happen. Because the universe will be like, hey, man, she's already married. That can't happen under grace and perfect ways, because then if the person is married and has kids, a lot of things going on. So it could happen, especially if the person that you're trying to manipulate, that specific person, if they're weak-minded, they don't have that powerful will where they're just calm and just like, what the hell, why do I have this thought? And they say next, they can't do that. They can't dissipate a thought. Then you're like, you'll get it. I'm sure you will. Because everything is amenable or can be impressed. Especially if they have their mind wide open. And most people have their mind wide open. My master, Bob Proctor, tells us that's why you don't watch the news, things that you just don't want to be in your mind, because repetition brings it into reality. Repetition brings it into reality. Repetition brings it into reality. So if you're watching negative stuff, it'll bring that into reality. So don't stay away from it. Do a mental diet of goodness. Okay. So you get the intuition, you get that desire, like, oh, I like this. This is for you. Okay, so let me create something like this for me. And so you start seeing yourself with a specific person or a certain amount of money or a specific business, not taking someone else's business. Like, oh, I want to take them out. That's being destructive versus constructive. And I'm going to go over a quote, what he says. Now, perfect transition. In all this power, quote, in all this, the power of the will as regulating the action both of the intuition and the imagination must never be lost sight of. For without such a central controlling power, we should lose all sense of individuality. Okay, our will, our will, that's part of our individuality. So respect and love the will. Okay, you can use it to dissipate or to control something. Don't be too hard on yourself. I know sometimes I could be hard on myself when I have a negative thought. So I say next, okay? And then forgive yourself. That's the best way. So right now I'm going to forgive myself. Miguel, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry for the negative thoughts and feeling bad for myself. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. All right, now let's go on next. So you can do that as well, okay? That's from the Hawaiian, I believe that's the Hawaiian culture. They have that saying. It's from them. It clears the area. When there's problems in the family, they do that. They say that because it clears the air. It clears the relationships. So you say, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Okay. All right. Quote, and hence, the ultimate aim of the evolutionary process is to evolve individual wills actuated by such beneficence and enlightenment as shall make them fitting vehicles for the outflow of the Supreme Spirit. Okay. Means individual wills set into action by being benefactors to everyone and everything, all life, and having this enlightenment, this understanding. Okay. That's why the next chapter is going to be very, very enlightening, because we're going to talk about how the spirit operates. We talked about how the mind, how the body operates and controlled by the mind, which is the soul, right? The individual soul, individual consciousness, the individual will. Don't get it confused. These are just terms of us trying to explain our individuality, okay? Our consciousness, okay? And our wills. Now, quote again, which has hitherto created cosmically, and now carry on the creative process to its highest stages only through conscious union with the individual. For this is the only possible solution of the great problem. How can the universal mind act in all its fullness upon the plane of the individual and particular? This is the ultimate of evolution, and the successful evolution of the individual depends on his recognizing this ultimate, and working towards it. And therefore, this should be the great end of our studies. This is a correspondence in the constitution of the body to the faculties of the soul. And there is a similar correspondence in the faculties of the soul to the power of the all originating spirit. And then he says, therefore we must study the spirit. That's the perfect tangent or transition to the talking about the spirit, which is the last chapter he added. So he says that that's one of the greatest questions, right? The greatest questions. How can the universal mind work in all its glory and its all its power in the relative, right? And it can do that through us. It can do that through us when we recognize it. When we recognize that there's a power, there's a spirit that we can use to create, to evolve ourselves, and to benefit all. That's like, we're like aids to the universe. Conscious aids. Everyone's an aid to the universe. The universe is all power. You can see, look out the window, look at trees, look at plants, look at yourself, how it grows, how it functions automatically, how you're enjoying the light, the sun, the air. But we're going to talk about evolution and how the universe, he calls it the living spirit operates. Okay. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm almost 30 minutes in and I started kind of late today. It is what it is. I'm grateful to be here. Okay. So what is it that you are visualizing? What is it that you are holding with your will? What is it that you're dissipating? Maybe you're thinking of some thoughts and you're dissipating them. You're using this. You have these powers. So recognize that you have these powers and recognize that you holding on to it, using your will create it on the physical plane. Okay? And your relationship with God is going to help you with this. Okay? Your relationship with God. Although he talked about imagination, he talked a lot about God in it. Because the way you see God is the way that God will see you. Because it is subjective. Okay, it is subjective. As it is done unto you as you believe. It is done unto you as you believe. It is done unto you as you believe. So if you believe God is a benefactor, it's going to help you. It's going to provide you with everything, which it can, because it is unlimited intelligence and unlimited power and resources. Then it will give you that. So let's close our eyes. Visualize this. Visualize the thing that you're manifesting. What are you manifesting? Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. We'll do it together. We are unlimited beings. You are an unlimited being. Now run the image. What would you see if you would have what you want now? Take a deep breath. Exhale. Push your stomach in a little bit. Run the image one more time. It's okay if your images kind of continue on because it's a continuum of what you want. Now open your eyes. Sit in that feeling. Just sit in it for a second. And ask yourself, how do I feel now that I have it? Write it down or say it out loud or say it in your mind. Okay. That is you in pure spirit, visualizing using your will and your imagination, and it will be externalized. If you persist in that image, keep holding on to it. Remember, persistence. That's you have control over that. Persistence. Present. Understanding the law. So you must say, you see it and you say it in present tense, right? You see it, present tense, you see it now. You say, I have it, I am grateful, I have, if you affirm it with words, you already have it. That's you setting the tone. And be relaxed. Expect it to come. Cheerful, calm expectation. I hope you like this one. Share this with somebody that came to mind. If somebody came to mind, share it with them. Listen to your heart. Listen to your intuition. If you feel like liking this, like it. You feel like commenting something below. It's calling to you, comment below. If not, do not. If you feel like subscribing so you get more of these videos, subscribe. If you don't feel like subscribing, then do not. Okay? I love you regardless. Until next time, peace. Let's go, mama. See, Destiny's right here with me. She's right here with me. She was with us the whole time. Peace. I love you.